Welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. Before we get started, we are having Wi-Fi issues here because these winds are out of control. So if there is a delay, I apologize in advance because I just noticed all the different times was different. So I want to call that out. So welcome. Hopefully you're having an amazing Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. On your way in, make sure you speak, subscribe, like, and share. I'll have my co-hosts introduce themselves and then we will get started. Jojo?
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Ronnie Howard today. I'm calm today. That other guy had to take a break again. But thank y'all for coming out, watching. Like, subscribe, and share. And get ready because we about to go crazy again.
All right. Jojo Abonero here. IT project manager by day, cigar enthusiast by night. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, like Ronnie said. I'm gonna be sober tonight. I'm not gonna be crazy. I'm gonna trying to be all right tonight. I won't go past 65. I'm still under the speed limit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying, I'm not trying, you know.
Damn.
What is wrong with you fluff heads? Like, what is wrong with y'all? For real. I can't. It's everything and nothing at the same time.
Exactly.
I'm a chill tonight. I'm gonna be under 65 today. I'm gonna stay on the far right lane today. I'm still on the far right.
Okay. But you know, in California, that lane you get in that motherfucker and it'll bust your tires. So you might want to get in the second lane because that lane is definitely messed up all the time.
That's right. That's right.
Tonight for our hot topic, we're going to jump right into that. We actually have two hot topics. The first one is something that I saw on TikTok. So number one, that bill has passed. So alert, if you are solely doing business on TikTok and you're one of those millionaires, then hopefully you had enough sense. It's no nice way to say this because I'm pretty sure most of y'all was talking shit. I'm just saying, because you made it off of your thing and then you talk shit like you do business and downplayed education. Just gonna throw that in there. Shameless dig. I'm petty. I'm petty as fuck. However, hopefully you're not just on that platform, and I'm being for real, because if you are, hopefully you're making enough money to transition into something else. And that's just not your sole income, because America is they don't play fair.
Did it pass both houses? Do you know if it passed both houses?
So it didn't even go there. Right. It passed. And the president has already said that if it lands on his desk, he it's not even a second thought he's going to sign it. I just hope people have other platforms. I can see both sides, but here's why I can see both sides. And then you guys tell me how you feel, and then I'll play the clip that exhibits why I think that, number one, is too much information that goes in that space. But I found out that their technology is housed here in the US. So that does mean that they have to go by our laws. But, right, let's just be honest, when these are this government, right? If you piss somebody off, I could tell you all day that I'm HR and I will not do X, Y, and Z with your business, and I should not. But the reality is, do I have the power to do it? I do. I could change my mind at any time. So I could see where that would be a problem. On the other side, I also think they need to clean up how free they allow people to be on the app, because it has caused a lot of things and it is out of control. That's how I feel. How do you guys feel? No feeling?
I think I hate all of this because it just feels like
it's gonna hurt our economy.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt our economy.
If jobs are here, and they are, we have a counterpart that works for TikTok. So
yeah, see that I think it just, they just want to control everything, and I hate it. I think just technology, period. Like, I don't think they should single out an app like this as saying, you know, people are got too much access to certain things. Like, you can get that off of anything. TikTok is just another app in there with the rest of them. Now, I know it's more free as far as you know, there's a lot of information on there, a lot of people giving free game out that they don't like. All this game being, all this stuff being brought to light, all this information.
They allow politics.
Politics, they allow politics, like everything is on like TikTok. Literally, we get everything off of TikTok. So I'm disappointed because of the app that we know of and know and love right now will no longer exist the way it does when the US takes over. You know what I mean? They're going to turn it into Instagram-ish, Facebook-ish. It's going to have to meet the same standards as those, and there's no more. That's what made TikTok unique. TikTok provided a lot of opportunities for a lot of motherfuckers to eat, and a lot of motherfuckers took that shit and ate. And you know, just like any hustle, you know, they don't last always. So, you know, like Sis said earlier, I hope motherfuckers took their bread and you know, really put it aside or put it to work into something else, or had a pivot plan to do something else to maintain that bread and not just, you know, live like that shit was gonna last forever. But I hate it. I wish it wouldn't have passed. It was overwhelmingly overruled. I think it was 350 something to 50.
It was out of control.
It was out of control, and it was disappointing. I'm like, God damn, like, but I mean, I'm not surprised. America, this is America. You know what I'm saying? This is America, the land of you know, capitalists, and you know,
but to be fair, name one country we could step in and do whatever the fuck we want to do.
Yeah, and yeah, I get that part too. But I just, what's bigger, I'm just thinking about not on like a country versus country type thing, and not you know, invading the country and doing, you know, breaking rules or whatever. But I think like it's mainly for a good cause. I think TikTok, the way it is more good than bad. I mean, everything has a bad part to it in life, period. But I think TikTok does more good for our country than it does bad. So I wish it wouldn't have got passed.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think like everybody here, I'm kind of in between. I never liked social media to begin with.
Yeah.
I never did. I think from the moment Facebook started, I just thought it just brought out the nastiness of folks who in general just could not try certain things in real life. But you know, I also don't want to be the old guy that hates on how the young kids make money now. I mean, all those little dance videos and whatever these they do. So overall, the idea of being able to be free and doing whatever it is you want, and like you said, some people making money off of it. You know, it's just new stuff. It takes time, like Ron said. You know, you take the good with the bad. The bad will look very different from what we're used to, especially us old heads, and it takes a while. But I would have rather. I mean, I wouldn't think that this is how they were going to do it, and it's always like that. Once you start hurting someone's interests, they just find a way to just respond. I'm wondering who did they piss? Who got pissed off? Who really, like, what businesses got pissed off enough to where this got passed this quickly by this much margin? You know, I just want, but you know, all in all, it's like it didn't have to be that way. That's the way I see it.
Okay. Let me show you guys a video that just tickled me. So I was going through, and you guys know it starts showing different people's channels and suggesting stuff. What I personally don't like, this is one of the things that I don't like, especially having a business account. The things that are suggested are, it has to be off of popularity because it's not according to what would be beneficial to me, what I would want to see, anything I frequent, and I'm running by it a lot. So it's slowing down my business, if you will, because I only have so much time to go in and look for something or to browse and see what's new and popping. But this is what's coming up versus everything we just said. So this is my problem. Let me show you.
Okay, no,
Thank
see,
you.
baby, where I'm from, your gifts are
Thank
stored
you.
in heaven. You could be poor here, but you'll be rich in heaven. Don't worry about it. Yeah, holler at me when we get to heaven. All my riches and goals are in heaven. Holler at me when we get up there. I'll let you hold
Help
some.
me.
But down here, I ain't got it, baby. Down here,
Help
I ain't
me.
got
Help
it.
me.
When we get to heaven, it's
Help
gonna be
me.
stored up.
Yes.
Holler at me up there.
Send me cap, TikTok cap. Send me TikTok
What?
cap.
Oh, you gotta talk to
Send me
TikTok about
TikTok.
this ain't my, oh, I don't own this app. I don't own this. Yeah, I don't know. You see, you beg too much for me. You cool and all, but all that begging, I got to go, baby. It was
Follow
good.
me, follow you.
You
Follow
you
me,
you
follow you.
no, you begging too much, baby. I can't do that. You beg too
Follow
much
me.
for me, baby.
Follow
Absolutely
me.
not. You've been on here begging since you got on here. I'm sorry. I can't follow you. I can't follow you. I can't follow you, baby. You do too much begging. I gotta follow somebody that's got it. Clearly, you ain't got it.
Big
I love you
respect.
though. Big respect. I love you.
So my problem is it's become an overwhelming space for begging. It's becoming an overwhelming space for the cross collaboration. That's what we call it at work. I love being able to see other countries and all of those things. However, being US, we are a target. Why was he on her platform? He doesn't even speak English. But what he's accustomed to doing is going on somebody's platform. He repeated the same thing over and over because he didn't care. He simply saw she had a lot of people. I couldn't fit it all in there and be up for you guys to be able to see it. But she had a lot of people on her live. She was in the middle of telling a story. You're supposed to be interactive. So she allowed the person to come through, and then that's what she got. She couldn't figure out how to get him off. She's new to it. So it's no test environment. It's a space where you are completely open. That level of being open is a problem for me, because even when I'm trying to do live, if it's not a quick button that I can quickly get to, that's a problem. She couldn't figure out how to get him off for a while. Here's the other problem. Chloe Bailey's boyfriend, he's a rapper, right? He came on to the girl's live because he liked her storytelling and was talking to her, and we was trying to tell her that he was talking to her, and she missed the whole damn thing. I saw it live myself.
Damn.
I've seen another couple on there that is from another third world country, and they have the camera facing where it shows them sitting on the floor. They're looking poor and looking sad, and all they're doing is do this, like to tell you to tap the screen. You can visibly see that they kind of lean over and talk to each other because they want people to believe that they are deaf.
What the
You don't
fuck?
think no cleanup is needed? If we allow TikTok to keep working the way it wants to work in our space, how is that good for us? Anybody. It allows live suicides. It allows them to play things over and over with that unaliving that Facebook or YouTube wouldn't allow. All TikTok is a YouTube with no rules. Those same people can be on YouTube. YouTube offers the same thing. You can give knowledge for free. You can talk about politics. You can do anything. What they didn't like is that the rules started to be too much. Why were the rules created? Because people was doing shit. So I personally think if they wanted to fix, all you have to do is fix it. But you didn't do that because this isn't the first talk of TikTok going away. So that's why I think it's a little bit different. Now, anybody else have anything to say before we move to the next one?
I
This next
do.
one is funny as shit.
Yeah, I mean, this one was kind of. I mean, my dumb ass found some humor in the dude. Looked like
Of course you found it funny, but would you imagine that's your business?
No, not on that level. I just saw some bullshit. It was some bullshit. The whole time I'm like, this is some bullshit. But then
No.
when dude started pointing, he had them long ass ET point home fingers. I was like, is that he looked like AI? He didn't even look like a real person. Like the
Could
shit
be.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just got that vibe. I'm like, what the fuck is this
Whole
shit?
time he could have been snatching up information off your computer.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah, from that aspect, I think, of course, that type of stuff needed to be cleaned up. And yes, I agree with that. I just wish we could do both. I wish we could clean it up
I do.
keep it for the people that's eating and have opportunities. I wish we could do both,
Yeah. I wish they could put the major rules around it. Like a lot of people gravitated there from YouTube as well with kids. because you could work them as many hours as you want to over there. But look at all those things we found out about how people was working their kids over here. So I just wish that the highest priority things could be taken care of.
Yeah.
That would help.
Sure.
Okay, now look. Now this is what else I found on TikTok. TikTok helps you learn a lot of things. Like, I didn't know in Georgia, if you're 17, you technically an adult, and when they come arrest your ass, they can't arrest you and take you to grown-up jail. Yeah, I didn't know that. I just watched a video of this little boy, not little boy, who's 17, just turned 17, working at Five and Below, has stole like $2,000 within a matter of weeks. And the store manager called the police to come and was like, had all the stuff there and told everything. And then he's like, yeah, I just need you to come and talk to him, blah, blah, blah. And the police officer was like, talk to him. No, he's getting arrested and going to jail. And the manager was like, what? Because the manager didn't know. And I really think the manager would have made a different decision, but he found out on camera. So once he found out, and when she started it, now you got to call. And the bigwigs on the phone, not there, of course, was like, nope, press charges. They went back there, dude just on his phone looking like, He said, oh no, I have to read your rights. He was like, my rights, I'm a minor. Nope, you going to jail. I was like, oh my, I didn't know that. But let's take a look at this one, and I'm going to play it in 3 parts so that you guys could tell me what you think the answer is. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Lord, let me play this in the right order in Jesus' name. Y'all know I'm good for playing stuff out of order. Let's see.
What would you do if you checked your bank account and suddenly found out you were a millionaire? That happened to a former Louisiana sheriff's dispatcher, and instead of notifying the bank, well, she quickly moved the cash into another account, used it to buy a home and an SUV. 𝒀𝒏𝒆, who you see here, was arrested for theft, and tonight is facing a lawsuit from Charles Schwab after she ignored several of their attempts, they say, to contact her and get the money back. Night court is now in session with civil rights attorney Robert Patillo and criminal defense attorney Brian Claypool. Welcome to you both.
Okay, so what would you do?
Shit. Shit. Do you want to go?
Okay,
JoJo?
real life. What's the first thing you would do? Real life. If money got deposited to your account from the bank, what's the first thing you would do in real life?
I would log out of my account and log back in and make sure it wasn't a glitch.
Right.
Withdrawing immediately.
Well, that's what she did.
I would.
Yeah, I'm familiar with this. I'm familiar with this, and yeah, they would never. Well, the first thing I would do is I would call my bank and let them know, like, hey, I don't want to go to jail. I love my freedom. I have a family that's counting on me. Come take this money. If you guys look for whoever the owner is, if you can't find the owner, then put the money back. But
yeah, they're not putting the money back. Good luck, bro. Okay, so yes, I would call them too. No, I'm not calling and saying all that though. I'm just gonna call and say, can you tell me where that deposit came from? Yeah, that's it. That's it. But let's see what the answer is. What you're supposed to do. I think this one is it. Oh Lord. Yes, there's one.
On February 23rd, Schwab meant to transfer $82.56 into a Fidelity brokerage account, services account, but the company instead transferred $1,205,619, court records said. So, Robert, is their mistake?
Is their mistake, but that does not mean you have a legal right to that amount of money. Even best case scenario, if you were able to keep it, good luck explaining to the IRS where $1.2 million came from and paying the taxes on that. This is no different than finding someone's wallet and deciding to keep it when they ask for it back. Or if a Brinks truck accidentally dropped money off at your door, it does not mean that you are legally entitled to it. There's legal precedents on it where people back in the old days would cash those Publishers Clearinghouse checks that came came to your house and occasionally banked to allow the transaction to go through. But then later on, when they figured out the funds were not there, they would reverse it. So though I understand that most people don't have sympathy for big banks in situations like this, you don't have a legal right to it, and you're going to end up getting in more trouble than it's worth.
So that's the feedback of lawyer number one, and there is a second feedback. So tell me if you agree with what he just said based on his information.
I mean, if that's what it is, that's, you know, the law is, that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? Do I agree with it? No. Do I have sympathy for banks? Motherfuck no.
No.
You know what I mean? I think that, you know, if the fair thing to do, shit, if y'all made a motherfucking error or some shit and gave somebody some bread and they took that shit out and spent some of it, I think that's on y'all. Shit, y'all gotta charge that shit to the game. Like,
how did you make a mistake from $82 to $1 million?
That's what I'm saying. That's on that person. Like,
so let me tell you guys why I shared this one, because I thought it was funny, number one. However, and something people also don't realize, when you are giving a response to something, you can only give it based on your state and the different banks, because every state is different for certain things. I wonder if she's a sworn officer. If you're a 911 person, are you a sworn officer? She's a dispatcher. So you might be held to different standards. That's going to matter later. But this is why I did it, because I was in the comments and I was looking, and, you know, the moral go back and forth. One person said, when we get ready to hit the button that says, if you transfer this to somebody you don't know, we're not responsible, and they don't help you get your money back.
Facts. Nigga, what? That's exactly.
I said, based on that, I wouldn't give it back.
Thank you.
Unless I legally had to, I wouldn't take it and move it and do it. I would move it. What I mean is, I wouldn't use it yet until I knew I was free and clear to use it. Like, I could make the decision on whether I want to give it back, because some states is if you want to give it back. However, on that sentiment and all the identity theft I just went through, I wouldn't give it back. I didn't get a lot of my money back, and they didn't give a damn. And it was clear. You could have hit the button to reverse it, and you didn't. So you mean to tell me you didn't put no protocol into place to help yourself? Kind of reminds me of COVID, when y'all got bailed out first, but y'all tell us if we lose our job, we should have 6 months of income. But y'all got your money on the front line. How you get your money? You wasn't prepared in case something happened? A little hypocritical to me. But
a lot hypocritical.
That part. So, last part. Here is the last part.
Exhibit B, then, we go to. The company argues in its lawsuit that Spadoni's account contract with Schwab includes an agreement that if a client receives an overpayment of funds, the client is required to return the full amount. Right.
Last time I checked, we have a criminal court of law, not a moral court of law. And morally, this woman is incorrect, and she should do the right thing and transfer the money back. But the law is on her side, believe it or not, and I think it's going to trump that agreement that she signed. Real quick, theft, felony theft is the charge. That means that this woman had to deprive money of someone else without their consent. Charles Schwab sent her the money, so that charge is going to get dropped. The last charge against her is bank wire fraud. Last time I checked, Charles Schwab made a mistake and sent the money to her. So in the real world, she might walk free, and she might have $1.2 million, and she might have a wrongful termination case against the sheriff's department for firing her. They shouldn't have done that.
So, once you hear the actual charges, so you mean to tell me, now roll with me, y'all. Especially JoJo and I, we work with millions of dollars in contracts. It is our responsibility to know every fucking word. If there's a no that's misplaced, we better know it, or that shit's coming back on us. You mean to tell me, after y'all made a mistake, because that person is y'all, and sent this money out, you didn't call in the best lawyers ever, or your legal team wasn't ready to be activated to make sure you filed the right charges? You didn't even look up because it's not bank fraud. She didn't do it. And She didn't do either one. So for me, I'm just saying my moral compass would have hit the roof. Here's why my moral compass would have hit the roof. Jesus, you put the money in my account first, and then you had them file bogus laws that I'm gonna get away from. You clearly want me to have it.
Well,
are y'all serious?
Come on.
All the shit that they can do to us for little things, and you mean to tell me your legal team?
Come on. Goofies.
Do y'all even understand? In my previous role, I would be flying there before that boy finished hit that button. I would have been on my way there to fire everybody around him. I mean, like with police on the corners and all of that, because people at that level, they act a fool. I would have full police security. And the legal team, we wouldn't be sleeping. That's an all hands on deck issue.
Yeah, 1 million is a lot of money.
From $82? Y'all, I have told y'all I overpaid somebody once. I overpaid somebody once, and it was a very similar situation. She knew on Tuesday and we got paid on Friday. She still spent the money. I was calling her all day, and this is the person I called a friend and got the job. In the state of California, you still can't take it all back out so it doesn't cause financial hardship. However, she knew before. She should have got written up. You know, because she cried, she didn't get in trouble. I forgot the decimal. It was, our location was 8108. I typed in 8108. No decimal. So you knew, bitch, you made $15 an hour. You knew you didn't make $8,000.
Oh my God.
Because she was somebody I still called a friend, although she did me that way. Do you know I didn't file charges against her?
Damn.
And I got a write-up. But that still had to make sense. I still had to prove I did my due diligence, which I did. But $82 to 1 million, you don't have a pop-up that tells you, are you sure you want to?
Right.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's a big boo-boo. Side note, for a lot of people who don't know, you know, there's insurance on that money, right? You know that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. But here's the thing. Even with that insurance, the reason why they're going so hard is because you have to still prove that you did your due diligence.
That's right.
If you just show
That's right.
complete neglect, it's not covered.
That's right.
And this, they
That's
just
right.
doubled the neglect. That's why I'm like, wait, what?
That's right.
You just doubled your
Mhm.
neglect. You're not getting your money back from insurance either. And it went viral.
In fact, that's what the defense is going to claim. The defense is going to come strong with a negligence case, and basically they're going to win. Yeah.
They might dig into this person's past. Don't let them have had a drink. Don't let them. They probably got drug tested right away. Now, the firing from the job in the state of California,
that
we can fire you.
Going to be big.
Yeah,
she's going to make
different. But
more
in
money
California, you can get fired. But in California, you can
Absolutely.
get fired. But there, wherever they are, I guess you can't. So at least know. So the first things I would have checked was laws, because you want to make sure that what you're doing is right so you don't get in trouble.
That's
but
right.
Apparently she got a lawsuit for that too. So y'all gave her money, and then
That's retirement for her. She must have been through some shit and needed a blessing. Like God,
Whatever prayer she prayed the night before, I need that prayer, man.
God did. Hey, listen, DJ Khaled, God did. God did, motherfucker. God did.
She gonna have the money for the arrest. She got the cold hard cash right now. She can file for unemployment or disability. She can actually do disability for mental distress. It's the sheriff's department. They have to pay you like you're still working there. You have full benefits, everything, because they gotta bring you back while you fighting the shit. Oh, those are union positions.
Sheesh.
Whatever
If you
prayer
can
she
do it for
pray,
her, you
whatever
can do it
prayer
for
she
me.
pray, I want that prayer, man.
She went straight and bought a house. I ain't mad at her, which lets us know she's not here because that 1 point something. I was looking again yesterday. The house I want is $1.3 million, and it's a 3-bedroom.
She bought. Wait a second. So she bought a home and a truck. She was able
She bought the
to
money.
close.
Yeah,
She was
she
able
did
to
that
close
fast.
escrow that quickly. Buy a
In
loan
other
to a home.
states, it's different. You know, they just go buy the house. It's not like here. They
I
just,
Okay.
told you I would have did the same shit she
yeah,
did.
it's much.
Mhm.
We can go buy a house on the weekend other places, JoJo. Here it's,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But she went and did that shit quick.
And whatever prayer she prayed, I want some.
I need
I
I
said,
need
baby.
that.
Okay, y'all ready for the game? Oh, any more feedback? So that was it. We don't know yet. I'm gonna try to see if I could find it so I can get a update on that one because that one is very interesting from my HR side, from my PM side, from my security. My brain was like, "What? Did y'all just arrest her for petty theft?" So, oh, okay, ready for the first question?
Let's go.
yes.
Okay. What is your view on gender roles in a relationship?
Mm.
Go ahead, JoJo.
I used to be very rigid on them. But obviously, if you're rigid, it just doesn't work. I prefer them, but I don't want them to be so rigid. I want them to wear whatever it is, it works. So my preference is gender roles. I like it. I enjoy it very much. Maybe that makes me old fashioned. The world is changing. Things are a little more fluid. I wish we kept the best parts of these things, but yeah, I'm leaning gender roles, not as strict as I used to be before, but I would lean more. I love it. I love it. I mean, something about the feminine energy, cooking, the same way I've been told, like people really appreciate when they see me fixing stuff. And so, you kind of have that balance of the the yin and the yang, and that's something that I appreciate very much. So now, obviously, if that means she's better at managing the books than I am, please, baby, go ahead, manage the books. You do that better anyways. If I cook better, might as well. But the roles are, there's something there for me who's a little bit of an old soul. I enjoy that very much. So I'm leaning that. I'm leaning that way.
Okay. Want me to go next, or you want to go, brother?
I could go. I think gender roles, I think they're good, but I think they should be kind of evolutionized. I should say that I don't think just for different people's situations, like kind of like JoJo was saying, I don't think that everything should be designated to one person. We can mix it up. Like, I think I cook better than a lot of women. I'm just being real because I've been doing it for so long,
Right.
my journey. So sometimes I'll be like, you know what? I do like us to see a woman cook, but I don't want it to make it seem like she has to all the time. Like, you could do it maybe 60% of the time and I jump in and do 40. We can split it like that. It's certain things that I think women shouldn't have to do, such as take out their own trash in a relationship, put gas in their car, and do a lot of the mechanical things to their car, get their car washed. I think, I'm not saying, oh, you can't do that stuff yourself. I think that you should not have to do that. And that's just how I feel. So I think a lot of things still that I don't think women should do, and a lot of things we shouldn't have to worry about. So I think certain things could stay in there with the gender, but I think just overall, we're in a versatile society. So I think we need to all be able to do both, because women aren't just at home anymore, you know, raising children. Women have full-time jobs and careers and all that stuff. So you can't just expect that. So I think just having it more versatile to where both genders are able to do multiple things, I think that's the evolution of it.
Okay, so I agree. I think that it kind of evolved without us, though, because the reality is, if people are getting married later into their 30s, then you mean to tell me you didn't eat as a man until you got married in your 30s? Or ladies, you mean to tell me that you didn't take out your trash until, you know, you got married? So the reality is we all do these things anyway. Or have managed to make sure they're implemented in your life. I can't change a tire, but I can change a radiator. I could put in an alternator. I could do those things because Papa taught me. However, when you get into a relationship, that's why I think it shouldn't be so rigid, because it doesn't really make sense. So if there's something that you really dislike doing, maybe discuss those things and who will do it, because what you may really dislike, the other person doesn't. So you level set with that first. I think when you get in a relationship, you should take care of the dislikes first. That's where the balance comes in, because all the rest you don't care, right? Who cares who cooks? You know, then it's a little bit easier. To JoJo's point, I think that whether you grew up seeing it every day or not, it's just certain things that may turn you on about the opposite sex. You may like to see your husband washing the car, but the reality is somebody could come around and wash it, or you could. But that's your thing that makes him sexy. So express that too. Express why you want that thing from the other person. And I think that it'll be appreciated a little bit different. But I like gender roles. I do. But I don't mind doing all of it either. I don't know. I don't mind. What is your opinion on threesomes in a committed relationship?
I'll take that one, Ron.
Go ahead. All you, Playboy.
I mean, okay, my first things first is that it is not for everybody. It is not for everyone. And you really got to be able to do some soul searching within yourself to figure out if this is something, because unfortunately, these situations, it's not like you can go to the store and try something and you don't like it and you can just drop it there or throw it away. If it's something that you don't know how you're going to react to and you go in hoping for the best, but it turns out that's not what it is, the other people involved, how they're going to feel, how you're going to express that. I mean, it's just really complicated. For myself, I'm all for it, because I know myself, but I can't stress enough that it's really not for everyone. It really isn't. I would almost not recommend it. Ironically, I would almost not recommend it. But yeah, it's my thing. I enjoy it very much. Something that I would want to share if I'm able to share it with someone. To me, it just gives you an opportunity to experience something extra, something different. You're adding to what you already have. You're hoping to do the same with whoever is invited, as long as you're safe, as long as all the boundaries are set in the rule. And also, if you're a guy out there and you're involved with two women, allow the ladies to like do their own thing. You don't have to be the head honcho.
What does that mean?
Checking everything. You know, like there's some guys who, this is the feedback that I'm getting from the people who engage in this type of activity. When there's a guy involved,
And the threesome?
The guy is so happy to be there that he just doesn't know how to chill. And you got to be able to learn how to chill as a guy, act like you've been there before, you know, because what that does is you really don't allow the ladies to develop, well, at least the ones that I come across, you don't allow them to develop some type of chemistry for themselves. It's as if both of them are there for you, as opposed to allowing them to find a space where they can find something for each other. So that's my little experience that I see there. But yeah, you really have to be sure. A lot of people do this, they're not sure, they don't do it right, they don't do it well. And so, but all in all, I agree with those who engage in it, but you have to be very sure about what you're doing, and you have to be safe. I cannot stress that enough. You have to be safe.
I think that there's no real wrong or right answer. I think it's you know, to each his own type thing. Some people need that type of shit. The you know, polyamorous, the free spirits, the experimentalists, the people that want to do different things in life. I think some of that is needed. I think realistically, and just being a human, I think it's hard for anyone to have that type of perfect situation, because I think everyone is capable of jealousy. So I think it's tough, man. I think it's tough to do that all the time, or to participate that a lot in a lot of situations, and realistically think that it could be peace. I mean, but that's just me. I think it'll be difficult. I've never done that before, so I don't know what it feels like. Never really had the desire to, really. I think that but there's some people out there that need the type of shit to spice their shit up. I know personally knew some people that was doing it, and you know, the girl was upset because she still was getting cheated on, and she was bringing this dude women to their bedroom, and I didn't get it. And she showed me some of the women that she brought to him, and I'm like, bro, are you dumb? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit. So I think for deception purposes, people still are dishonest when, especially women, go out their way to accommodate some of these men and be like, you know what, you know, baby, I'm down for you. I'm down for this. You know, I'm down to do what it takes to keep you, bringing you all these women, and you still going outside the rules and doing some bullshit. So, you know, yeah, I think to each his own.
So for me, in a committed relationship, absolutely not. In a marriage, absolutely not. It does not belong there. But again, I'll go back to my same rule. If you do not get married in a church under God, you can follow whatever rules you want to. If you got married in church under God, I don't feel like, I don't feel like, it says it in the Bible, you don't get to make up your own rules and say that it's okay, because it's not. And then you open Pandora's box and you cannot close it. I don't believe it's a soul big enough to search that you can safeguard or ensure things don't happen. It's just not that space. Once sex is involved for anything, it takes it to a different place, unless you just do not care about the people involved, which is why the bed buddy situation works, because you don't have an attraction. It's not for anything like that. So it's a no big deal. And then the last thing, I think that people that are fluid in this space, I like to see it be more fluid, where it's two men and a woman. It's never that fluid.
Never gonna happen.
You don't get to comment on how I feel. I didn't comment on how you felt. You don't get to comment on how I feel.
We can have open conversation. Okay.
Because what you can't tell me is it's never going to happen, because there are people that are poly that have two husbands. So never going to happen. You don't get to tell me that.
You don't have to take it literally, but it's never gonna happen. It's not gonna be.
I don't have to take it at all. I don't agree with what you said, but I didn't rebuttal you. I let you say how you felt, and I left it right there.
It's not gonna be common. That's not gonna happen. Okay.
You don't get to zip your lip after you still already said it. I mean, but that's cool. Roll with whatever you like. Y'all keep playing with Pandora's box if you want to. That's why people gonna be in old folks home by themselves, because we don't get this shit together. and quit experimenting. So, anyway, next question. Would you like to give feedback to what I said, Ron? Since I guess it's an open floor.
Oh no, you feel how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? That was how you feel about it. Like I know people do that double men shit too. So I'm like I said,
I'm just saying it's there.
Either I never done either. So
do you think men people don't admit it, Ron?
What?
Because we know a lot of people and we know things that happen on both sides. Do you think that's one of the things people don't admit?
Yes, it is. Some people do or with that shit. I mean, shit. Honestly, you know, the niggas that was running trains on female, that's the same thing. Like, you know
exactly.
Same shit. Like, a lot of niggas, I had never done the shit, but a lot of niggas that was running trains on women or girls back in the day, bro.
That's the same thing.
Same shit, bro. So what's you know what I'm saying? What's the difference?
They want to classify it as something different.
I can never be in a room with another naked nigga. That's just me. But a lot of these niggas didn't care. Like, I just was never interested in that shit. Period. But like I said, to each his own.
Yeah. Yeesh. Okay. Because I just thought of something else too, and it's really inappropriate, but it happens. And it's yeah. Yeah. Would you ever date outside of your race? Why or why not?
I can go here.
Okay.
As far as relationship and marriage, trying to have a partner.
It just said, would you ever date outside of your race? But I would assume since you date with intent.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say for me, I date if I'm dating, that's with intent. That's with finding somebody. I wouldn't. I'm not interested in being with someone that's not you know, black. I'm not saying that, you know, it can't happen. That's just my intent. I'm attracted to black women. And there's nothing wrong with either. Other women are beautiful too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they ugly. You know, I'm not saying that I don't like him. I'm not attracted to them, but I'm mostly attracted to black women. I've never, you know, I had a girlfriend or anyone I took serious that wasn't black. I'm just comfortable with black women. My mother was black. My you know, sisters are black. I got a gang of sisters, blood and non-blood. And I've just been around black women my whole life. I got black daughters. Yeah, so I can only date black women.
Do you think that we would accept? Well, no, you know we would. Never mind. Two of our sisters have biracial children, so you know that we would support. We don't care. Okay, so that is completely a choice because we wouldn't care. Okay.
No, we wouldn't care. And like
I was wondering if you think we would say something, but then I thought about the question.
We've been through this before. I mean, like I said, I you know, they're attractive, you know, and I've kicked it and had some, you know, relations with some out racers, you know, non-black people, but you know, that's all cool. It's all fun and dandy. But as far as, you know, building with somebody and being with somebody, like for me, I feel can't nobody understand my black ass better than a black woman. So
that's the biggest piece for me.
I gotta stay home because can't nobody understand us like y'all. Period.
Right. What about you, JoJo? I know it's probably a little bit different. Your answer is going to be really intriguing since you grew up and you said it's 95% black in where you're from.
Yeah. Yes.
And then here it's a melting pot. So like, how does?
Yeah. Well, surprisingly, my answer is going to be different than everybody. I'm actually equal opportunity employer. And the way I think about it is like this: my happiness is paramount, and
I need a shot of vodka dealing with you. Tequila.
That's right. That's right. I'm a equal opportunity employer. That's right.
So you're burnt, bro.
Yeah. So the way I think about it, the reason why I think this way is because for me, my happiness is paramount, and how someone makes me feel is everything. What someone does for me and with me is everything. And to me, whatever form that takes, I'm open to it. Now, do I have a preference? I do. A strong preference for my Black and African sisters. But I don't shut the door to other races if they might have a lot that they might have a lot more that they have to face, a lot more that they have to overcome, and I have to be okay with dealing with whatever that means when I enter in their culture per se. But I'll be open to anyone. I'll be open to anyone.
So you guys see, I don't know where the questions is going to come from because I left them right here. I was watching another podcast. I was watching TGIF, and you could go back and look at it. It's the one from, I think, 2 days ago. And on the panel is a younger gay guy, Al, who is bisexual, and then Claudia, who is biracial. And the question was asked, like, how do we determine who we're going to marry or whatever? And Claudia said, I feel like Black men will go for a white woman first because that's a badge of honor. I made it. It opens different doors, especially in the entertainment industry, because you have more access. It's just the reality. Well, they feel like you do. Ironically, the gay men also said that's the same in our space. And one of them said, I have a friend who literally said, I would not like to date a Black man because we have too many traumas. I would rather date somebody who did not have to go through as much because it's just more free. It's more opportunities. You didn't start at the starting line. And while I get that, and then they also said, Black women, if we do cross, it's because I've tried to date all of these Black men. I'm getting older. I'm running out of time. This other race loves, they love me. So I can't keep going this way. I want to be loved and I want, which I can relate to. But I don't know. I don't know if this is a part of the slave mentality. I don't know. I cannot see myself marrying somebody that doesn't look like me because they don't understand me and they won't understand our mixed Black kids, or, it's just certain things that come with being Black that are amazing, but it has some liability that if you don't understand what that looks like, it can get you hurt and it could cause you to not give your children everything that they need. So I think the gamble is too big for me to date that way. But I think they're amazing. I think I have been really attracted to some, but I just can't do it. I don't know why. It just makes me feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm betraying Black men. I can't do it.
Can't do it.
I can't. And like I said, we have brother-in-laws that are other races, and I love them like I don't, but I just can't. Yes. And I find it interesting that people either have a really strong conviction or they're open. And here's the best part. I love that I don't see nothing wrong with either one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. As long as it's in love, don't do it out of no hate shit. Like that I'll never agree with. Let's see. Do you watch porn? If so, what is your favorite kind to watch? Do you feel porn is appropriate to view while in a relationship? Well, we know I didn't voluntarily pick that question.
Definitely know that.
Who wants to? I can answer first. If you guys want to think about your answer, my answer.
No, I can answer first. Shit. First answer for the first answer to the first part of the question. Hell yeah. And and what was the second? You said what kind? Or
what's your favorite kind? And is it appropriate in a relationship?
Favorite kind has to be. I'm not really on no like weird. I'm not gonna call it weird. You can't, kink shame somebody.
You're not extra spicy.
No, I'm very simple. As long as it's a nice curvy Black woman involved, I'm cool with whatever goes down.
Do you watch it for entertainment or to get the job done?
Job. That's it.
I could tell.
Job done. Job
I
done.
could tell by your answer.
Yeah, it's not no entertainment type thing. You know, I mean, as soon as the job is done, it's going off. Like, it's not something that I'm going to sit here and just watch.
Just play on TV all day, right?
Yeah, I got other shit to do. You know what I'm saying?
You're not invested.
It's hired. No, it's hired to do a job and to do a job only. And sometimes it is funny.
You're talking about relationships like employees. It's so funny because relationships really is a business. So I think that's so funny. Y'all crazy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do be tripping out off some of the dialogue, like the new shit. Sometimes it be funny as fuck, but nah, it's to get the job done. And that last part of the question, is it appropriate in a relationship? My opinion, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if my wife or girlfriend did. I wouldn't give a rat's ass. Just don't make sure it doesn't affect our, what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you start to do that more and I'm getting less, then we're gonna have a problem. But you know what I'm saying? As long as I'm cool, pleased with what I'm getting, you could do whatever you want to do on the side. I don't give a fuck. Like, for me, it don't make a difference. Like, if it's that important to you, hell, we could watch it together. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't care either way. You know what I'm saying? I think it's cool.
Jojo. And don't lie.
Never. Do I enjoy it? Yes, I do. In a relationship, I think it's acceptable. Obviously, there's a time and a place, but as long as the two consenting adults I've discussed it and understand to what capacity, they can enjoy that. Would I watch it just to get the job done, or something a little more like enjoyment or whatever? I don't know. Is it something that I would like playing in the background while something is happening? Sure. If my partner is watching it, and like Ron said, if it's starting to affect what I got going on, then nah, I'm not gonna go for that. But I'm always open to whatever gets things going, whatever enhances the experience, whatever gets you there, so we can get there quicker, faster, longer, more enjoyable, more intense, whatever. And if that's gonna be part of the activity, let's go. I don't mind. Why not? Oh, and what kind do I enjoy?
Mm-hmm.
Almost everything black. Everything black.
Okay.
Girl on girl, threesomes, juicy, thick, BDSM.
What does juicy mean?
Someone who's of a certain shape, voluptuous, people of a certain shape,
okay.
So on and so forth. And then a little bit of BDSM, why not? A little bit of flogging, spanking. BDSM, the freaky shit. Basically, the freaky shit. The chains, the ropes, the whips, the zip ties, the mouth ties, the butt plugs. Yeah, so I know. So I promise I was gonna be on the right lane at 65. I'm sorry. I was going too fast.
Right. You just answered the question.
He was just answering the question. Okay. Yeah. So for me, do you watch porn? No. If so, what's your favorite kind? I don't watch it. Do you feel porn is appropriate to view while in a relationship? Now, let me tell you, most of the things I say no to is because it comes with a bad story or something. So let me tell you, before this age of wisdom, I would say, I don't care as long as it don't impact the relationship. Now, I ask a lot of questions because I've actually dated somebody who was addicted to it, and it made their reality was off balance. Like, that wasn't realistic in things to expect. And that's when it becomes a problem in a relationship. because you want those same. It's not real. Those things are not real. If you do them and you like them, great. But if you think a woman really hollers like that the whole time, or really enjoys every single thing, or it's not, it's a movie, it's fake. So if it starts to cloud your judgment, doesn't allow you to do the things that you need to do. Oh, and I have a friend that's a girl that's addicted to it. I think it can take over your life. And I think that part is crazy. So if you like it regular, oh, I don't care if my partner likes it, if it's regular. If you like Miranda's dude she was dating on Sex in the City, where he would literally move her out of the way so he could see the TV while he was sleeping with her, you can't possibly think that that's okay, that a person would want to be ignored during intimacy. So if it does any of those things that are a result of addiction, then no. But like everything else, you got to try it out to see. So hopefully by the time you get with him, like, ask questions. But do I think it's appropriate to view while in a relationship? I think it's fine. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. Please don't let me find like no adolescence or nothing like that. That's bad. Other than that, I don't care. Some of the stuff gives you some good ideas, by the way, because I do like exotic dancers. I wonder if that's this. I like exotic dancers for that reason, because they show you different things you could do. That's why I like female exotic dancers over male ones. So I guess I don't know. No. So the next one, the last one, you want a spicy one, or you? Hold on. Let me see if I have a spicy one in my hand. Okay. Okay. You want, I don't have a real spicy one in my hand. It's either, do you believe in living together before marriage, or could you continue to be with someone who you're no longer physically attracted to, or what do you consider to be husband/wife only benefits? Should these benefits be given while dating? So one of those. You want the one about still being with somebody you're not attracted to, spouse benefits, or living situation? That's the last question.
That's all three in one, or we pick one of the three?
No, pick one. I don't have a spicy one in my hand.
Living. I would do it. Living.
Yeah, we already did it. Living?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me reread it. Okay. Do you believe in living together before marriage? Why or why not?
Okay. Yeah, that's.
I think that one and the husband and wife one can kind of go together. We can bunch those two.
Okay.
Those two together.
Okay. Okay.
Short answer, no. For me, short answer.
No living together before marriage. Okay.
No living together before marriage. Short answer for me, no. But here's why I'm saying no. Okay. I'm saying no purely and solely because of my upbringing. My upbringing just does not allow for that at all. Obviously, we're grown in the modern world, things change, and so things are different. But just the fact of living together, and you have all these pressures of the families don't want to think that you're just playing house and you're not being serious, because you get no father wants his daughter in a situation where she's living with a guy, and which is why I was saying it ties into the second, the other part about the wife and the husband, because now she's living in a house and she's giving this guy all the benefits of a wife, and he hasn't stepped up to do the stuff that he's supposed to do. So for that reason, and because that reason, that is heavy in my culture, I would say, look, it's best do it the way you're supposed to be doing it. You might see you guys are adults, you might see each other often, but or you might stay the night or a few days, but I moved in and you've moved in and we've consolidated everything before marriage. Then we have to decide how much of this are we giving each other, because now we're moved in. I don't do boyfriends. I don't know how to do that. The culture that I come from, we don't have boyfriend. You're my friend or you're my wife. I don't have the middle ground. So while we're dating, trying to figure out each other, I'm trying to wrap this shit up really quickly. And so I would say no to avoid any issues, and so that you don't have to find yourself giving too much of the benefits of this one thing, making the other person complacent, and now they don't step up and do what they're supposed to do. That's the way I would answer that question.
I have a question. So in this same situation, if there's, then how come that doesn't filter over to the place of intimacy where you don't do certain things because you're not married yet? How come it's so free in that space? But I'm only asking because you keep saying my culture, my culture. I don't think most of our, just to be clear, some of the shit we're doing, our parents would be like, you're doing what? So how do you determine what you follow?
Well, I guess in that, if I was to try to answer it the way I understand it, I would say, because I guess
Well,
people
that's right, because you
understand the
said it
word
ties into the other part, the benefits. So that's what I'm asking. How come you get all these benefits, but
so the world in which we live today, I would like to believe that certain things have changed and we just can't fight it. It's just not going to look exactly like how things used to be back then.
You can't fight your body.
I wasn't speaking for me. I wasn't speaking for me. I thought I was
speak for
answering
you.
a general question.
No, it's
about
not a
the
general
culture.
question because you said my culture.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess for me, it makes a difference because the part of the intimacy, I can hide it. The culture doesn't have to see it. But us living together, we can't hide that. And so that puts too many eyes on you. But the intimacy, whether we live together or not, I can hide that. They don't have to see, they don't have to know. I could introduce my partner to my family and tell them I met her last week. What happened between when I met her last week and when I introduced her, they don't know. They don't have to know. However, if they're gonna come around and they find out that we live together, okay, you guys live together. How long have you guys lived together? After a certain time, it's like, okay, you're trying to marry the girl. Is she trying to stay? Are you serious? And so there are
would it
parts
be
of the
fair to
relationship
say that it's not the culture, it's based on what you can I don't want to say hide because I'm trying to say it in a respectful way because I get it, right? It's not the culture, it's what you don't want to blatantly be disrespectful to your family in that way because that is a part of your culture. This is why I say it, right? Because I'm a Christian and I said, I will not live with a man, but I also said, I also didn't give certain benefits to that man across the board, sex and everything before I got married. So it covered everything. But this particular piece that you're leaving out, it's more so because I still want to do what I want to do, but I don't want to be outright disrespectful to my elders.
They talk a lot, and I don't. And again, all of it comes from the culture. That's why I put the culture in there. But yeah, they just talk a lot, and
so
I don't want to hear
it. So that's the answer. It is not
yeah.
because of the culture. Just the same way I gave the example that I'm a Christian, but I don't follow everything. But what I'm saying is, I restricted myself as well across the board. You're really just saying, and that's your answer. Whatever can be seen, those are the things that I'm really holding to. But it's not because your culture, it's because you don't want to disrespect those elders because of the culture. That would be more fair to say. Because if you were dating me and you said, my culture says this, I will look. Muslims, good example. I dated a Muslim guy. I'm Muslim, I can't do this, I can't do that. He drank a fifth every day. So I'll be looking at him like, you don't just drink a little bit, you drink the whole fifth every day. You're not even trying to hold back a little bit. You get what I'm saying, right? You understand there's nothing wrong with what you're saying, but when you keep saying the culture, it's not really because of the culture. It's really because you don't want to be blatantly disrespectful, just like I don't want to blatantly disrespectfully be a Christian.
If you can make the distinction, you can. Good for you. I can't make the distinction.
That's
but
why
if
I'm
you
telling
can,
you, I'm trying to help you. That's the answer.
No, it's not. That's not how I see it.
Oh, okay. Ron, what's your answer?
My answer is.
But I get what you're saying, Jojo.
I was always raised to believe that you shouldn't because, you know, it was wrong, and then I found out that that's something that was created by preachers because that's not in the Bible. The actual sin is having sex, not living with someone. When they tell you stories about shacking up, it's a lie. It's not a sin to shack up. It's not a sin to live with somebody unmarried. It's not. The sin is to have sex with somebody before marriage.
Correct.
So, for me, like, if you really gonna do this, like especially at older age, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's different now.
If you can't contain yourself from sex, you know, I'm not saying, you know, to each his own, but I'm saying, like, for me, living with someone before marriage, it's kind of like test driving a car before buying it.
It's important.
It's important because it's a lot that when you live with someone, you get to know them on a completely different level. And you marry this person without living with them. There's certain things that they're going to do and you're going to do that you don't know if you can live with. Like, for instance, if you live with a man that, you know, when he comes home from work and he takes his clothes off in the middle of the floor and just leaves them there, that can every day that can drive you crazy. Like,
and walks around naked.
Walks around naked or pisses on the toilet or leaves the toilet seat down or up when he pisses and shit like that. Like, living with somebody, knowing their tendencies and shit, I think is key before actual marrying them. I think to marry somebody blind, this is just what I think. Marry somebody blind without test driving a car, you know, I may be wrong for this, but abstaining, you know what I'm saying, test driving what it is. What if you end up not liking that shit? So it's like, for me, I think there's nothing wrong with I would rather live with somebody before I marry him. But I'm not just gonna live with anybody. I'm not just gonna date somebody. Hey, move in. You know,
right.
It has to be somebody who I'm really looking at as like, okay, like, I think I'm gonna propose to her. This is gonna be the last thing I need to test out. Can we live together? You know, give it a trial run. And if it check out, you know what I'm saying, there come that ring. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's just how I look at it.
I don't know how I feel about this one. If I fully go back into the dating space, so there's a caveat. If I were to be with somebody that I've known before and that's an ex, I could see myself living with them because I feel safe with them. I'm not scared. If it is somebody new, do not agree. Okay, what don't you agree with? I'll give you time to write it while I give my answer, Ivory. Welcome back. For me, if it's somebody I've already known, I feel a little more comfortable because my biggest thing that drives me is fear. People are they're just so crazy these days, men and women. So that's my biggest driver, fear, and then God next. Despite my sinning ass ways, that stuff doesn't leave my brain. So, but could I shack up with somebody I know? Yeah. So again, I could still sin, right? I think you need to live with people, or something me and the man that I married did. We started staying with each other in each other's space because I felt like him seeing me in my space and then me seeing him in his space is different, right? Because when you're at my space, you're a little more on your P's and Q's. When you at home, you might throw that sock on the floor. You might cuss different, talk different. Everything you do is different when you're in your own space. So I think that it helped each other to see the habits. The other thing is, I could tell you what all of my bad habits are, but that's what I consider bad. Like Ron said, you could see something and think it's bad, and it's something I never even noticed I was doing, but to you it's something that's bad, right? So I think it's important to spend some time together, a long vacation, an extended period of time, over a week at least, because then at least you get a little bit of taste of that.
Yes.
And I think you need to blow out your time. If y'all are planning on being together and you don't want to live together, let's say you're in the middle of a lease. At that point, you need to decide once you want to be engaged or whatever, we're always going to be together. You don't get space. Always be at their house or them at yours. If that includes moving the kids or whatever, take your kids with you. But it's really important. So I agree with the fellas. I think that, or I agree with Ron. I think that it's important, but I also agree with JoJo in that I understand that conviction that you feel from the people. And mine is the reverse. Mine isn't people looking at me, because I don't feel that from them. But me knowing that, feeling like God doesn't want me to do it and I'm just blatantly disrespecting, that's my own feeling of how I feel. Iris said, as a woman, I would not agree to live with you. To try out a thing. When you love unconditionally and you have a strong spiritual connection, you can work things out. Have you been married before or lived with, been in a long-term relationship before?
I don't think that's realistic. I think that's nice to believe that, but
it's not.
I don't think it's
Unfortunately,
realistic. It's not just
we're human.
It's not just to try out a thing. That's not what we're saying, to try out a thing. We're saying is, if you're in this relationship to where you feel, okay, this could potentially like really, 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 really be the one. And like Asia said, I like the way Asia put it. Not necessarily, moving all your shit in and signing the lease together, but experiencing spending time to where, like Asia said, let's say you spent a week over their house or they spent a week over, like that's getting a sample size of living together so you can see, because once you get married, all that love, unconditional love, that shit is thrown out the window if somebody's doing some shit that's going to irritate you every day living with them. Like, sir, you see the rest of people when people show different sides of them when you live with them. And I think you have to at least get a sample size of that before, to make sure you're in that. Like, it's nice to believe that, but that ain't realistic.
I'll say that I agree with her partially. Now, knowing that she was married, I can see why she says that, right? I think I talked about it last week or the week before when I said, even though it's some things a woman would be like, I can't stand him. I can't believe he did that. That nigga get on my nerves. I don't want nobody else, because that thing does piss you off so bad. But to her point, for me, the love does trump it. However, I have been with some people and the things that they did irritated me, and I thought I loved them until they did that thing that irritated me beyond belief, or the way that their belief system was completely off. And I was like, oh, I can't fuck with you, because if your belief system is this, then that. But that was for me. But everything else was great. But when that switch got hit, I didn't love him anymore. So I think that that's why what Ron is saying is true, because like we just said, with the threesomes and everything else, it's a gamble to do it that way. When you do it that, you don't know what's going to happen. It could be their family. It could be if they got kids. It could be any one of those things that do something, and you do love them unconditionally. I think, but you also don't want to be around them anymore.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people with that moving in thing, it is because of spiritual or religious values. But it's like, what's the difference if you're always at somebody's house or if they're always at your house? You guys technically don't live together. You guys are paying two separate rents, paying all this money. And I've seen situations like this, and I've been in situations like this where you're literally always at their house anyway. You spend the night and everything, and after a while, it's just like, I'm over here all the time, or you over here all the time. Why the fuck are we paying two rents?
Right. It grows into that.
That's literally the same thing. But then people like to play these word games with God in their mind and try to say, well, I don't live with him. So. But you basically do, because you're there every day. Like, yes, you do. Like, you don't technically, because you're paying two rents, but if you're there every day, you're living with them anyway. Let's just keep it abandoned. That's how it is.
That's why I openly admitted my feeling about how I feel. And I know that it does not say that in the Bible. It's how I feel, and I can't unfeel that.
Right. Exactly.
I said that, but I also said it's a lot of things I don't give that go in that space before I was married. So it wasn't just that one thing that you pick to hang on that makes you feel like Ron said, you playing a word game or this, oh, I'm a better Christian because I don't shack up.
Right.
But you fucking all the time. Oh, I'm a better Christian because God, that's why I think we should break it down to what it really is. And skipping the dating phase, yeah, but for the people that do it right, and that's what we're talking about, the ones that do it right so the question was, would you live together before marriage? Why or why not? And then the other one was, do you consider husband and wife only benefits? So that's what the question was. So assuming the people are going to get married and they did go through the dating phase, but you can properly, baby, let me tell you something. I dated my husband, we broke up, and we got back together. We did not break up over anything bad. Ron, tell her if I'm lying, I'm flying. We never had an argument. I never yelled at him. And it's things I didn't like, but we talked about it. It's things he didn't like, but we talked about it. When you get married, you are now married. So the things that I talked about as a girlfriend, my mannerisms, the space, there were certain things I felt because I grew up learning that technically he can't tell me what to do with my money and I can't tell him what to do with his, but I can watch how he spends, right? But once you get married, I could tell you I could tell you whatever the hell I want to tell you. And you can tell me too. And if we don't do it, it's disrespectful. Those are the things that we're talking about that you don't really know until you live with somebody. So the umbrella is really big. So it's not things that you would necessarily miss. It's spaces that you haven't entered. So that's why it could go either way. It's whichever one you like, and do the things that are most important to you. I would say that. Try to find a solution for those things. But that's it. JoJo, any more feedback in this space off of anything Ivory has said? You want to give her your feedback or?
I would say fundamentally your reasons and Ron's reasons for the living together before a marriage all made sense. The reason why in my culture people still insist on doing, well, one of the reasons, I won't say one of them. One of the problems that was resolved by living together first so you can start, you give great examples, by the way, watching how someone is around you in terms of their hygiene, watching how someone is going to be behave in terms of how they speak, their mannerism, how they spend money, certain morals, certain values, certain habits. The reason why in my culture people are more okay with living separate is because these problems, real problems that get solved by living together, where you can find these things out, in my culture, they've already made provisions for it. You know, listening to your husband, meaning, so if it's going to be a situation where we live together and now you get to figure out how I spend money, I get to figure out how you spend, and then we work it out as we go. In the scenario where I come from, when you guys come together, that friction that may be caused by now living together as opposed to living together while dating, the solution is simple. He's your husband, listen to him. If he said don't spend, don't spend. If he says spend, spend. So, for example, one example that I've seen clearly is the woman likes to buy stuff on credit. She pays it back, but she likes to buy stuff on credit. The husband likes to pay cash. If he can't buy it 3 times, he's not buying. Now, you would think that, okay, well, these are good problems to have, but sometimes those two fundamental ideas can come clashing, and you would have to figure out which way to go. Now, if we lived together before we were married, I would have found that out. And if I think it's too much for me, I would have bounced. In a marriage, we're already married. So if the woman is the one who buys on credit and the man likes to buy cash, the woman would have to be the one to say, okay, he wants it done this way, and so that's the way it's going to be. Or maybe she gets to do it on small stuff or on the stuff she handles, which is she's buying a couch, she's buying, so on and so forth. But if he's saying, hey, look, if we don't have this, if we can't buy 2-3 times, I don't want to spend the money. And so those were the provisions made for those frictions. And that was the last thing I was going to say. Thanks for having me again. I hope I didn't go too fast. I promise staying on the 65 miles an hour range.
No, that's proper. Ivory actually said that's proper. That proper submission is what he's talking about, and it is facts to her.
Okay. And so,
Ron, what do you have to say
about what?
If your wife said, I want to buy X, Y, and Z, and you said no, is proper submission for your answer to just be accepted, or to not just, is proper submission for your answer to be the answer that the family goes with because you said no?
I don't feel that way on something like that. Of course, in a traditional relationship or in a conventional relationship, we're supposed to lead in a lot of ways, lead, protect, provide, all that stuff. That doesn't mean that I'm your master. That feels like on some master shit. Like it's something as simple as whether you want to spend cash or whether you want to spend credit. I don't think that's proper submission right there. I think that's on some hierarchy shit in a relationship. That's basically just my opinion about that. I don't think something as small as that. I think that's what does drive a lot of women crazy. A lot of men with those views are viewed as controlling because, and a lot of women, some women do agree with it. They agree with it. Yeah. And I just don't. I think that is a form of control. And I don't think we need to control everything like that. I think just is what I think. I think that that's not submission to me. I think that's low-key crazy. But that's just how I feel about it.
I think that the ways of the old days this. I don't know why I got this picture in my head, but Silly in Color Purple, when Mr. was trying to cook and C was trying to tell him the proper way to do it, and he didn't listen and he blew shit up. I think that it's important to discuss your strengths and your weaknesses. And I think that it's important for whomever it's when he said his culture was already immune to it. I don't know. I don't understand that one. Tell me what you mean. And we're going to wrap up in about 10 minutes. Great conversation. Here's why. Again, we've progressed, right? Now there's these different things. Best example, my aunt and uncle that have been married for 25 plus years, he makes all of the money. She is a stay-at-home mom, educated as well. Again, this is the one that he pays, that he shares his bonus with, all of these things. But when they got together, ironically, she wasn't the more financially responsible one, but marriage kicked her in the gear to do that for the household because he was the one making the money. She didn't feel like he needed to be worried about all of the things going on, so she became house manager. That's what a true stay-at-home mom should be. So she discussed everything with him. In a year, she had everything paid off, no student loans, her credit cards is paid off, everything. Going forward, it's a couple of, you have to be financially literate. Whoever is more financially literate. I don't think that it should ever just be a hierarchy, like Ron said. I think that it should always be a discussion and what's best for the family. I think I said that his culture already know how to be without moving first. Yeah, they do. They still kind of go like how we were in the South before. But here, I don't know how it is still, how it is there, but here things have greatly changed. Here, or when we had those rules that applied, it was because the husband made the money. The wife didn't make any money. She could not go out and just get a job. She was under his thumb. So she had to do whatever he said. And she didn't have a credit card. That was his credit card with her name on it. Like things like that. Now that we are where we are, I just think that whoever is stronger, similar to what we talked about with gender roles earlier, is how it should go. And I think everything should be a discussion. What if I'm telling you, babe, let's put that car on this credit card because they just offer me double points. And yes, I know you said you had cash. Let's take it and pay it off. Every time you do something, I don't want you to pay cash no more. You wasting building our credit. And we say we want to buy this house, but you keep buying in cash. Now we don't have no credit. It's worth a conversation. But I think that you should know what you need in your own relationship and what works for you. That way you can respect and honor your husband. And that way you can respect and protect your wife. I don't think any man should be disrespected. And it is sometimes, ladies, when a man say, I'm putting my foot down this time, I think you should just listen to him because apparently this one is a big deal. I would not go back and forth because if you're always having discussions and things like that, and they're telling you this time, no, this is what it is, ladies, give it to him. If he blows up the kitchen, just clean it. It's okay. Have good insurance. Okay, so anything you guys want to say before we close? That's literally the last thing for me because I believe in gender roles, and due to respect, after my brother talks and closes this, I don't say anything. So, Jojo, do you have anything to say before Ron closes us out?
Yeah, make sure to follow, like, share, and subscribe. I'm working on something big right now for the cigar, on the cigar side. So
congratulations.
I'm very, very excited about it. I'm trying to see if I can get some type of like a big release thing like around my birthday. So I'll keep everybody posted. But yeah, stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's go.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, man. And if
Thank you,
thank you. Let me know when the date is, man. You know.
Oh yeah.
I got you.
I'll pull up 360. You feel me? So you can have.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jojo. Yeah, like the man said, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you, Ivory, for your feedback, and everyone else who watches. Y'all the ones that keep us going. This is low key like a therapy session for me when I'm able to come on and talk my shit. You know, I'm able to release and release some things. So this podcasting thing is really you know, it's really therapeutic for me. So make sure you guys continue to check us out. Catch us next week. Continue to support, like, subscribe, and share. Come back next week because we coming back with some new shit. All right, y'all. Good night.